Doing water in the wintertime is kind of a task. Yes, there's no snow here or anything, but it is cold-ish. It's not very cold today, but I mean, it's chillier today than it normally is, but we tend to try and choose the warmer days to do the water because it is a task. We don't want hoses to freeze and stuff. So we're going to take you through our process of doing the water.
Now, as long as this isn't kinked inside, we should be able to run the water. Hook it up. Can the hose come? Turn the water on. So we have to go to each pen individually and make sure they have enough water that they can reach down in. Now this is a half of a 50-gallon drum that's been cleaned out.
Every single time we do waters, most of our children, Arlo, ends up muddy.
Yeah. She's headed up here to Timber. Timber's pretty good. He drinks a lot of water, especially when there's a cold snap coming on.
Yeah.
He can feel it, so he downs his water.
Mommy, this kitty was shaking its tail really a lot. Mommy, watch it.
Tobias, what are you doing?
Keeping it
Ladies.
before ladies are out here.
Okay, so you guys have to listen to me, okay? You're gonna have some new friends joining you today. And I want you to be very kind to them, okay? Are you all listening? Okay, very kind to them. No butting, okay? All nice. And you make sure you say hello, okay?
Oh, they really got this eaten down.
Because these are your new friends and they will be living with you. Do you listen to me? Yes, listen. Okay. You have to be nice. So during the last about month of their pregnancy, it's really cool because you can start to feel babies, and Owen's never felt them yet, so that's what he is doing right now. He's trying to see if he can feel some babies. I felt them in her, so I know they're in there, but yeah, that's what he's doing right now.
You're gonna have to find it sometime and show me.
Big man with a big beard says he don't like cats, but he loves the kitties.
I like kitties, I don't like cats.
Now that everybody has water, now it begins the big process of draining all the water out of the hoses, setting them up high so that way nothing freezes when it gets cold. So what I do is I try to find the middle.
I try to find them.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to utilize this wooden structure here. Our farm is kind of sits at a hill, so as long as we're walking backwards when we're draining the hoses, they drain really quick.
I know what you mean. So she's walking the hose right now, just making sure she gets all the extra stuff out of it. She's pulling it through the wooden structure, but that sometimes doesn't work all the way, so she's walking the hose.
Okay, the camera died. We're back. We drained all the hoses. We made sure there was no more water coming out of the ends. And now, so that way we can move around better in the barn and move some sheep around, we are adding on to our hoop, creating like a little lean-to. Roddy. Creating like a little lean-to and putting our square straw bales in there so that way they're easily accessible. And then we also can use this back as a windbreak. So Owen's gonna get ready to tarp it here. And I think it's a pretty genius idea.
A little redneck, but
it's all Jerry rigged. Jerry would be oh so proud. Marlo, where are you?
Hey, I'm not revealing my secret from being up here. Never get down.
You're stuck up there forever.
No.
never, ever, ever.
Nuh-uh. Secret dots!
Okay, so it's been a long-lived tradition here at 3 Acre Farm that when you wear out a pair of boots on the farm, you take those boots and you put them on a fence post that surrounds the property. So if you look here, there are boots up here on these fence posts. There's one there,
And there's
and then one there, and then there's a couple up there. So Mr. Arlo, since we've been down here, has completely worn off the heel on his boots. So we are going to give him the opportunity to pick a fence post and slide them on. There's some over here that need boots.
None of them actually need to. Over there!
Okay. There you go, Arlo. What do you think? Now, since we are 1 week away from possible lambing season, we decided we would set up a lambing jug. For right now, we just have the old hay in there, but we have an extra bale in there for when we start to put ladies in here. And then we have the, my goodness, we have the heat lamp. Feeder. So this will just be another separate area. It's really important to separate sheep when they're lambing so that they don't eat each other's afterbirths, as that can cause some really big issues. So Owen's just gonna put this farm is essentially run off of 50-gallon drums. We use them for everything, and this one is gonna be used as like a little lambing hut, so that the lambs can go in the bottom. Can't really see it because it's dark. There's a hole in the bottom they can go into. We'll have some straw in there. And then we can raise and lower this heat lamp as needed and such. So this is our lambing jug, and this will be where we start our lambing, probably with you, Mittens. So, all right, now we're gonna do some chores, and we'll take you along with us doing that too. Okay, so we're moving them now because, well, the reason we didn't have them together when they came was because these little ladies are little compared to these ones, and Snooty Booty over there, Mittens, is kind of mean. So we decided we'd separate them for a while, let them get used and acclimated to the farm, and then we would move them in there. Now the thought of it is we don't really want them to, we don't want to have to keep them separated for a whole nother year because they're smaller. And we don't really want to put them in there with brand new babies. So we're thinking that if we put them in there now, hopefully they'll be acclimated to the flock before they have their babies, and then things should go just a lot smoother once their babies are here. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay.
Dad, one of our mamas will get
Just, they're fine. I have the door.
Easy.
There we go.
That was easy.
They're all following. That's good.
That was easy.
And they went.
Feed them.
So where the ewes were at, they had a epidemic of sorts of abortions. And so this year, before they went in to get bred, I believe, they were given a abortion drug to stop them from, well, they're called abortions in the sheep world. They're actually miscarriages. So to stop them from miscarrying their babies. And then when we got the sheep back, he had mentioned to us, you know, within a certain amount of days is when we should start feeding them crumbles. And crumbles are basically a feed that's crumbled that has medicine in it to help them not abort their babies. So each ewe needs to receive about a teaspoon of that, and we will be administering that to them every night. So now is when chores get to be longer, and that's what we'll be doing here tonight. Also, we'll be separating, hopefully, if it works, we'll be putting Mittens over here to eat.
Over where? Over there?
The 3 amigas will go in there to eat, and then the other 3, Boots, Socks, and Flower will stay out here to eat. We've had kind of a choking problem where they tend to gorge themselves on feed or hay, and then they choke. So we're having to hand feed them, which is not ideal, but it is something that we have to start doing. So that's just kind of some monologue as to what we're going to be doing here. So we got the 3 amigas separated into that pen. Owen's got their food there, and I did actually just put their crumbles in there with their corn, simply because they are so scared of us right now that
Daddy, I got it.
this is just the best option, so we don't stress them out even more.
Stand by her so she don't get out.
Mommy, what if she pushes me down?
Okay, so here I'm gonna give Mittens her crumbles, and I'm just gonna put it into my hand. 1 teaspoon. This is a half a teaspoon. So I'm just gonna put it in my hand. And she's just gonna eat it right up. And then she's got her medicine.
So that's it?
They're okay, just a bar knocked over.
Mouthful of corn.
Belly full of happy.
Aww. That one to eat. No, it doesn't work.
Well,
When there's only 1 or 2, they don't eat it.
the hard thing is we're trying to give them.
Try and give it to Flower again.
Why?
Chip, 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 chip. Here.
There's Flower. And you could name that one Flower. And my mama, you know what
Just a little bit left.
That's right.
tidbit. Flower is the nice, shiny, clean one. Daddy, that one's not Flower.
I have to switch after I give a handful out.
Honey, give me a handful of corn.
Chip, 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 chip.
Giving it to Mitten.
I know, it's gonna die. I know.
Daddy,
So,
crumbles.
goodbye if it's gonna die. Mommy.